Oh man, watching Saul Goodman 3D for 1 hour was so refreshing.
Exactly, that's why we're doing our Better Call Saul tier list now.
Yeah, let's start with Ernie, shall we?
Ernie is a very nice dude. He is reliable, trustworthy, and very intelligent. B tier for my homie.
Yeah, he is pretty nice and took care of Chuck really well when he needed it.
Ernie does commit some crimes and mistakes, however, when he starts helping Jimmy. He gives him information without authorization and lies sometimes, but his heart is golden. An easy B tier for me. What about Werner Ziegler?
Despite being a simp, he is also super intelligent and a very nice character. B tier?
Nah, Trump, he deserves better. He is super well written, and his whole story with his wife is also very interesting. Besides, him being the mastermind behind the lab and such an important piece makes it much more engaging. I'd say A tier.
I'm not sure, I liked him pretty much, but I don't think he deserves an S. So let's go with A tier.
All right, he can stay there. Who is this next guy?
It's Lalo, see his mustache. The image is cropped, but I think he is an exceptional villain in this universe. He is relentless, charismatic, and terrifying. S tier for me. What do you guys think?
I think he is not all that. Yeah, he is scary and well written, but I think he is pretty overrated. I simply didn't like the guy.
That was such a bad take, Trump. Lalo is the best villain in the Breaking Bad universe, hands down. He manages to outsmart Gus, he terrorizes Saul and Kim, kills a bunch of people for no reason. Him killing Howard was of the most surprising moments in the whole story. His impact on the story alone makes him S tier.
I understand that, but he is a little too petty for my taste, but he could go on B tier.
We both think it's S tier, so there is where he goes. For me, there's no question. Plus, he is hot.
Obama got infected with Drake's zestiness, oh my God. But okay, Chuck is next. Hate the guy. I don't know who is more unlikable, Chuck or Skyler.
Chuck truly is unlikable. That's because he was written to be like that. He is orderly, reasonable, and dedicated. And the only reason people dislike him is because he does not like Jimmy's shenanigans. Jimmy is the protagonist, and Chuck needed to exist to not let Jimmy just keep tricking people all the time with nothing to stop him.
In the same way that Breaking Bad would be super boring without Skyler, who does not let Walter keep doing whatever he wants with no consequences, we have Chuck in Better Call Saul. Besides, Michael McKean lands the role super well. A tier for me.
I think C would be better.
Bad take again, Trump. He is definitely an A tier.
All right, now we have Finger next. If he was interesting in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, he became an even more improved character. S tier all the way.
He's mainly cold and cool in Breaking Bad, but we see much more of his humane side in Better Call Saul. We see his past, more about his family, what he does to help them, and also his problems when he briefly struggles with alcoholism. They masterfully developed Finger.
I have no idea why in the hell you're calling Mike his Finger, but whatever. I totally agree with both of you. He is even better in BCS than in Breaking Bad. S tier.
Now the next one is Nacho Varga. Holy shit, what an amazing character. Definitely my favorite.
Mine too, man. Michael Mando's acting was extraordinary. Nacho's story is super sad. He goes through so much, but he is one of the reasons why the series is so great and engaging. I could compare him to Jesse in some aspects.
I don't think Nacho is that good of a character. He is one of the biggest victims, sure, but he is not all that.
But in terms of character development and how likable he is, he really takes the prize. I think Sleepy Joe finally is waking up and agrees with me that he needs to be S tier.
Shut up, Trump, but yeah, S tier.
All right, now Gus Fring, and you guys already know I have to put him at S tier.
I think what happened with Gus is the same thing with Mike. He got even more developed as a character here and demonstrates once again how much of a clever antagonist he is. Simply fantastic.
I hard agree, although I prefer Lalo over Gus. Gus goes to S tier.
Sure, there he goes.
Oh man, Howard Hamlin, I don't really like him.
Howard is a very complex character. He is a little bit asshole-ish in some particular moments, but is overall a very polite, professional, dedicated, and mostly a good-hearted individual.
He is also pictured as being a rival to Jimmy and insecure sometimes, but yeah, there is no doubt that he is a good guy, although he was a dick sometimes.
Funny that you find him a good guy, Trump, because I don't. He was very punishing with Kim and belittled her, saying that she was being controlled by Jimmy. He may be a good salesman and very professional, but I don't think he was a good guy.
But we are not really rating whether they were good people, but rather if they were good characters. I think Howard was super well written and mostly a good guy. And obviously, he did not deserve the fate of having his career ruined and dying with the image of a drug addict. For me, he is an S tier.
No, God forbid. He clearly didn't deserve any of that, and you're right, he is a very well-written character. I was going to suggest B, but I think that a higher tier would be more appropriate.
Let's go straight with S. Howard had a lot of drip.
Now, almost finishing of the tier list, it's time to discuss Kim Wexler. Thoughts?
Kim is the most well-written female character I've ever seen. She is super complex, but so easy to enjoy watching.
Exactly, she is very strong, intelligent, hardworking, and ambitious. Her backstory is complicated, and she found some sense of justice in the legal system working as a lawyer. She is super fun to watch, although she does get somewhat corrupted by Jimmy.
I wouldn't say she was corrupted. It's rather that her inner troublemaker self that she repressed ever since she was a child was released once she discovered more and more who Jimmy is and was.
That might be true. She had a difficult upbringing, what made her strong. She leads the way and shows how tough she is. She is an S tier.
I can only agree. S tier is super valid. Kim Wexler is a fantastic character, even though she plans the whole idea on how to ruin Howard's life.
Yeah, but don't even get me started on Rhea Seehorn's fantastic acting. She's even prettier than the women you can see at Trump Tower.
All right, and last but definitely not least, Jimmy McGill or Saul Goodman. And Trump, he is going to S tier again. Do not complain.
I don't really like Saul Goodman in Breaking Bad, but he is a different guy in Better Call Saul, honestly. He is much more improved in BCS and much more than just a comedy character.
Yeah, although I love Saul in Breaking Bad, BCS makes him not only the protagonist, but much more of a fascinating character. He turns into Jimmy, a brother, a troublemaker, a beginner criminal lawyer. I lack words to describe him. He's truly one of a kind, and we will never see another Saul very soon.
Or another Jesse or another Kim, for example.
Totally agree. So Saul in S tier is totally valid.
Agreed.
Most definitely. All right, we are finished. How about playing some Call of Duty?
If you call Drake again, I will instantly leave the lobby, but sure.